Welcome to another episode. This is a second part to our first part. So if you counted us, our NFC South conversation, it got kind of cut short due to technical difficulties, which we're having lately. So let's hope we don't have it this time. But yeah, thank you for tuning in once again. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for disliking. If you want to tune in to the next time, if you want to get alerts, feel free to hit that little bell right there. So you can tune into our next episodes and future ones. So this time we're going to be talking about the NBA play-in. We got a couple things to talk about from yesterday's games. We did have a NBA play-in topic podcast for yesterday, but we couldn't post it just because of technical difficulties with my computer. So pretty much Zachary said the Warriors are going to win. I said the Kings are going to win. And we both agreed that the Lakers were going to win. I think for the most part we were right. We were wrong. It doesn't really matter.
You were
Honestly, at
right. I
this
was
point.
wrong.
But I brought that up. I brought that up because it kind of got to kind of where I was talking about yesterday in terms of, or I guess Monday, where we were talking about like the Warriors dynasty being over, and we kind of wanted to just talk about that, I guess, for this episode, and maybe talk about the playoff matches. But playoffs start this weekend, so we have some time. What do you think the Warriors dynasty kind of is it over? Or will we see another title again? And what
We see another title again.
yeah.
Is the dynasty over? And then what was your third question there?
No, let's start there because I have another question like about just the dynasty in general. But let's just start there for right now.
Is the dynasty over? I think when you look at the dynasty being over, for me, I don't know if I will say over because I don't know. Does the dynasty only mean championships, or
Well,
does it mean
that's
long playoff runs?
well, okay. So that brings me to my point. What is a dynasty? Because if you look at from my perspective for an NBA division or for NBA, just NBA, not NFL, not any other thing, just the NBA. To me, if you were to ask me like, hey, when was the Warriors dynasty over? Like 20 years from now, I'm gonna say 2019. I'm not gonna say 2022, and the reason why is because 3 out of the last 5 years they've missed the playoffs. They made the playoffs last year, lost to the Lakers. They made the playoffs the year before, and they made the NBA and they won the NBA Finals. To me, this season kind of exclamates to people, to fans, like, "Hey, oh, it's really over." But it was over way before they won the 2022 Finals, in my eyes, because there was bad drafting, there was bad contracts, there were bad trades made, there were players left on the team that should have been on the team. There were a lot of things that were happening across closed doors. I guess at the end of the day, people see the Warriors dynasty as Steph Curry, Draymond, and Clay. That's what they see it as, and it's not the collective. So I guess that's where kind of where people are kind of differing on what is the actual answer. Is dynasty really over? Like you're talking to your point, if the Warriors win the title next season, is that going to start a new dynasty? Because to my in my eyes, I'll let you go after. Sorry, kind of over talking.
No,
But
no,
in
keep
my
going, keep
eyes,
going.
I think the 2022 finals marked a start of a new dynasty without Kevin Durant. That's where, to me, that's kind of where it started. But to some people, it's like, hey, no, this exclamated that this dynasty was not because of Kevin Durant. Like we would have won these titles without KD, and I don't think that's the truth. I think without Kevin Durant, there's a lot of things that don't happen. So that's and those things being the championships. But yeah, that's where I stand right now. But I love to hear your counter to that if there is any.
No, I think everything you said was factual, right? Um, where I tend to kind of disagree, the dynasty being over, I, I I don't think they're as far away from a championship as people may think, especially considering when they're what do you call it? No, I'm okay. So they did sorry, what was I saying?
The Warriors dynasty is not over yet because of.
Yeah, so the Warriors dynasty, I don't think it's over because they're only a piece away. They just need someone like a Jordan Poole. That's what they need,
Yeah,
which is pretty funny.
which
They
is
they
funny, right?
really missed out on him this year. Um,
And then they brought in Brandon Podginski. I think they're trying. I think they brought him in to try to replace Jordan Poole. I really do, and he's a great basketball player in terms of taking charges, getting rebounds. He's a good Jose Alvarado. Like I think to me that's my counsel. If Jose Alvarado for the Pelicans, I don't think he's gonna be a Jordan Poole type of player. To me, in my opinion,
I think the Warriors really are a messed up team
they are
because their ownership didn't realize, and this is like the owner, and then this is my problem with the dude that's
like
on ESPN now,
Bob Myers.
the
Yeah,
GM Myers. Yeah, like they mismanaged a lot. I think
yeah,
that's what this dynasty is going to be more remembered about than the actual championships. Because when
I
you look
agree.
back on it, they hit on some draft picks. Clay, Draymond, right? Uh, Harrison Barnes, he did help win the championship, like it or
Mhm.
not. Um, but they missed on a whole bunch of picks too,
Yeah,
which which people don't talk about.
Jacob
Damian
Evans.
Jones, Jacob Evans. I'm
Yeah.
looking at here, just I got the whole list.
Oh,
Uh,
hold on.
yeah, James Wiseman, Moses Moody, like Kuminga. He's starting to now. This is 2024. He was drafted in 21.
Yeah.
Patrick Baldwin Jr. Like these are all first round picks that I mean,
Most
Kaminga
of them,
kind of
most of them
contributed, but a lot of
aren't
them
in the
didn't.
league.
They're not even, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's what the thing is. And then the big one for me is Kevin Durant. Letting a guy like Kevin Durant
Oh
walk
yeah.
out your building,
For nothing.
I think that has to be like some type of red flag, especially considering on the championship stage we all saw Bob Myers, say, uh, I'm paraphrasing, but he kind of was like, "Oh, Steph, you've been here for a while. Kevin Durant, you just got here." Like, and it was that like he kind
Like
of
a shot.
dissed,
Yeah.
yeah, and I
They
think that
didn't
was the
really.
start of just the. I think a lot of being in that position is managing people, and I don't think. And this is just my opinion. I don't know anything. I'm not inside the room. It just seems like they didn't do a good job managing the people part of it. Like even the Jordan Poole getting punched by Draymond Green,
Yeah.
like that could have been a small issue, but they made it so large when they refused to do anything to Draymond Green, when
If it
kind
didn't,
of
yeah. If the video
they
didn't
kind
go
of act like
well,
it didn't happen. Yeah, and they got mad.
yeah,
They couldn't even find the video
yeah.
guy.
But I
They
was
could
gonna
have kept that.
say
But
if
fights,
the
I imagine fights happen in a lot of NBA practices, but they don't get out to the public. Like even like that part, I'm like, interesting guys. Like for me, I think that's what I don't know. It's just
I
poor
mean
managing. Even the whole Clay situation, like they're like
they're
doing
treating
fake
Clay
stuff.
like
Like
yeah now
like
yeah.
that was something that they could have made this man sign a contract at any point. They chose until the off season of this year.
I mean it kind of. I mean Clay Thompson's confidence level went down a lot this year, and you could see it. Like you could see him on the court, just like in his own, like forcing shots up. Clay Thompson is a forcer of a shot that nobody's ever seen before in the Bay Area for the Warriors. Like he's like Monte Ellis. Like he's gonna shoot the heck out of the ball, but he takes good shots. This year, he did not take a lot of good shots this year. A lot of his shots were forced. A lot of his shots were not in motion of the offense, and I think it was because he was trying to prove to the owners like, hey, like I'm worth $40 million. When in hindsight, you gotta, to your point, get down to the people's level and say, hey, Clay, I'm gonna be honest with you. You are not the guy you were pre Achilles, or even 2 years ago when we were on that championship run. But you are valuable to this team, and we want to keep you here. So here's the contract, and it could be something that is of what you think. But I think one of the contracts that they offered him was like 20 million a year. I want to say I don't have it up in my face, but I'll look it up. Offer. Let's see. But yeah, I just, yeah, it was 2 years. Gordon State reportedly offered him 2 years, $48 million. which is to me not good enough for a guy like Chris Thompson for what he's done for your team.
Well, he's probably gonna get that or less in the
But
offseason.
yeah, and some other team's gonna pay him this. You're telling me some other team is not gonna give him $20 million a year?
I mean, I just saw not Gordon Hayward.
No, it was we
The
just talked
other
about it in the
guy.
group chat.
He
Grayson
got four
Allen.
for
Grayson
he got
Allen.
4 for 70.
You're telling me that Clay cannot get
You
4 for
know,
seventy
and
five? I
I'm
mean,
like
that's about 20 million a
interesting.
year. That's what they were offering him for 2 years. To me, you don't do this to a guy, especially after what you did for Draymond. Especially giving Draymond $100 million last offseason. You're gonna turn around and then say, "Hey, Clay, we're not gonna give you that same amount of money." Like what? To a guy like I'm more important than Draymond on this team. Without me, you guys don't win. We lose that series against OKC during that 73-9 season when we were down 3-1. Like without Clay, you use that series. The Rockets, the year of the Rockets when Kevin Durant was out, when Steph had that big third quarter and Clay had that good fourth quarter. Like you don't win these series, you don't win these championships without Clay Thompson. I know people think I'm a Warrior hater, because I'm a Laker
Well,
fan,
I
but I
think I
watched the
think the big
Warriors.
for me too, Joseph, the big thing is Klay Thompson. He came back from not one but two
Two back to
career-ending
back.
injuries, and he came back pretty good. Like they still won a title afterwards, and we all know he's not the same. But to come back from a torn Achilles and a torn ACL, I mean, who does that? Like you can't you name another player that's done that in the back years? Like I have no clue, and I get the whole point. People are like, you can't pay him. He's over 10 yesterday, but I think what would have been a better thing, and this is why I said they're mismanaging the people thing for me. You knew he wasn't going to be a second option.
Mm-hmm.
We knew that. Um, you were hoping 2 years ago that it was Jordan Poole, Andrew Wiggins, Clay. Like he was the third or fourth option, right?
Yeah.
And they won the championship. And then the punch happened. He was still third, fourth option. But then Andrew Wiggins decided he wanted to take half the season off. And, Clay had to elevate to the third option.
Yeah.
And then Clay also had to guard the best wing on the other team. So,
after a torn
he's thinking, hey, you guys are not paying me. You're paying the Wiggins man. You're paying Poole. You're paying Green. And I'm someone who I've changed my role so many times in the past few years. I came back from all these injuries. I've won championships. So, I mean, I can understand where Clay's coming from.
Yeah.
And then to put him in the position this year, it's almost like they set him up to fail because Wiggins, again, went missing during the season. They traded Poole away for Chris Paul. Like, I thought that was the dumbest thing. Like, I think we talked about it when the trade happened, right? It's like, where's the scoring going to come from?
Yeah.
Like, it just makes no sense.
And you wonder why they scored 94 points last
yeah,
night
as well.
against the Kings.
They needed someone who can get 20. And
those 20
Clay
points
can't do that as
every
a
night.
second option, but he could do that as a third. Fourth option, I think he's excellent. He'll excel.
Yeah, third option,
he'll give you 17 a game as third or fourth. Which is why, Joseph, I'm not saying this. I'm not saying it's over. I still think they can get another one.
So let's get to that because I'm looking at Clay's stats, and this is my thing with Steve Kerr. That's minute thing. He's obsessed with minutes.
But hey, it's pay. Does it pay off right now?
It pays off. No.
When you're looking, Joseph, these guys are. Just hear me out.
Oh, you're talking about just not, like their career wise.
Steph has so many more minutes he could play because he only played 32 minutes a game this season.
Yeah, that is true. Like that is true. But I think a lot of times, and to your point of them maybe sabotaging this season, Steve Kerr said it literally like every week. Seemed like it was a headline. Oh, this team can't rely on Steph Curry. This team can't rely on Steph Curry. It was literally every single night he was saying it after a game. Because it was the minute thing. Like, why is only Steph playing 29 minutes? Why are they playing 30 minutes? And I'm looking at Clay's stats. Clay played in 77 games this year. I wouldn't have known that. I honestly wouldn't have known that if I didn't look at it. 77 games this year. He averaged 29 minutes, 29.7, so 30 minutes a game. In those games, he shot 18 points a game, 43%, 39% from the field, right? I'm bringing that up because I'm bringing up our guy, Grayson Allen, who played 33 minutes a game, averaged 13 points a game, shot 50%, 46, on way less numbers than Clay. You're telling me that a team is not going to offer Klay Thompson this amount of money? Now, I understand that Grayson Allen is a great defender. He's one of the better defenders, guard defenders at his position. Not saying that he isn't. And I'm not saying that Klay is on that level. But shooting wise, a team like the Orlando Magic that is maybe a shooter away, they will draft, they will pay a guy like this. And I hope Klay goes back to Golden State in San Francisco at the Chase Center and drops 50 on their head because they've mismanaged this guy this whole time. They've disrespected him. And I don't know, it's because he's light skinned. Maybe that is the reason why. Like Draymond Green, are they intimidated by Draymond Green? Did they pay Draymond Green? Like, why do they pay Draymond Green but not pay Klay Zachary? That's the thing I need to answer.
Well,
That's
Draymond's
what I
there.
need to answer.
Draymond's the leader you wish Steph were. So that's the thing. Steph's not the leader for the team like that. Draymond does all that stuff. I would like to be Steph, but it's just not. They need each other. Like, I think all three need each other. I don't think obviously Steph's probably the most important, but I think they're all complementary. Like, they all make it work.
So where do you think the Warriors go from here? Because I think this is one of the things where, to me, as a fan, as a Laker fan, I'm kind of juiced because I've been seeing nothing but Warriors fans flood my timeline for the past
I'll tell you
10
this.
years.
What the thing about them not missing the playoffs should, in my
and they don't
opinion,
have the first round pick, right?
Joseph, in my opinion, I think they should. Yeah, they don't have a first round pick right now, today, right? But I think that them not having, them not making the playoffs puts them in a position where they can take on a superstar. Because I think if they were to make the playoffs and they were to go pretty far, I don't think they could have improved the roster. But the fact that they didn't, it's kind of the reverse. Remember when KD left and everyone was giving the Warriors crap for doing that? I think now that you can't do that because this team didn't make the playoffs, so they really need another guy to come in. So I think that does help them kind of bring in someone. With the NBA, you know, like, anything happen. A player can request a trade, a drop of a dime. So I mean, I think it's still open. I really do. I will say though, the Warriors aren't, like I told you, they're not. I don't think they're well run. So I don't know who they can. Because I thought when Kevin Durant was up for a trade, what was that, 2 years ago now? I thought that was a no-brainer. I was like, get rid of Kuminga, get rid of Wiggins. Like, you bring Kevin Durant back? Like, they didn't. I don't know if they made an offer, but they didn't try. They didn't get them.
From the reports, there was no effort made.
So, like, I can't, like, I don't know where they go from here. I think the fan in me wants them to make a move. Like I said originally, my first thought was, I saw someone talk about, is Bronny James a first round pick? I said he is now. I think the Warriors I think the Warriors have set themselves in a position to draft him, hoping to sway LeBron to come. And I do think that all of a sudden Klay can go back to that third, fourth option. And I think that would be better for him. I think they would be like the Beatles on the road. I mean, so I think that's the only move that they can make that can put them in a championship team that I see. Realistic, I don't think it is, but I'm not seeing any moves where they can win a championship, because they need. It sucks. Paul. They seem to hit on a couple guys though this year. The big guy, I can't think of his name right now. He's an athletic guy who blocks shots.
Trace Davis Jackson.
Yeah, he seems to be a player. He took Looney's job away from the starting lineup.
To me, that was a mistake, personally.
So
to me, that was
he's just better right now.
I will say he's probably the best roller they have had probably since JaVale McGee in their offense.
Sure.
I'd probably say that. Like, he's a really good roller. And he knows how to pass from that roller position. I think he needs to. Hopefully, he can improve on his defense. Though I think he got dominated a lot this year, and I think it was just because of his youth. Like, he's first year in the league, second round pick. He had a lot of expectations going in. From Steve Kerr, it seemed. because he was
They need a
cooking.
star though.
They need a star though. Yeah, exactly. To your
I think
point,
that's the
like these are like guys that I'm trying to just compare him to like 2015. Like he's like a festive Ezeli type of guy. Like he's not a Andrew Bogut. Andrew Bogut to me was a star. Like he was a
number
star in
one
his
pick.
role. Yeah, number one pick overall, came
Yeah,
from the Bucks, 7 feet tall, could rebound, could block shots, could he was a good passer. He was a star in his role. And obviously the game has changed where that position is limited now in terms of the size, but they need a size. And we're saying size, and they got rid of a 7 footer, James Wiseman, who couldn't develop at all.
well, the
To
thing
the
is,
point,
like with
but
the
I
big
feel like
guys, I
they
think
could have
that's what you
developed him. They could have
with
developed
Joseph.
him.
I think that's the problem with having kids play like grown men because Trey, what's his name? Trace Jackson Davis.
Just say yeah, Jackson Davis.
Trey Jackson Davis.
I
Okay,
think it's
so
Davis
he was
Jackson. I'm
good,
not sure.
right? But yesterday's
He,
game, you saw him get pushed around a little bit
yeah,
by
first
Sabonis.
first
Sabonis
quarter
just
he get
Sabonis
pushed
just did
around,
like a
man.
little, and it's like Sabonis is almost
Yeah,
30, like
Trace
going against
Jackson
the guy
Davis.
who's
Yes.
19. So it's like I understand, and I think Wiseman was stuck in the same position where like these are kids going against guys that um just have more weight, just are more savvy in the post. Like it's it's
Actually,
it
he's
sucks.
24, by the way.
He's 24.
Yeah,
He looks like he's 20.
yeah,
That's insane.
yeah. He was a 5 year player at
Wow.
Indiana.
I mean,
Cause I
he's a
remember
good
him,
player. It just sucks they got to start him.
but he's
But
just not a starter level. He's like remember Eric Pashaw had that one good season, made all the NBA second rookie
oh yeah,
team.
when everyone got hurt.
Everybody was all like, but he was yeah he took a
Yeah.
good opportunity I gave it to him. I feel like he's gonna be the type of guy. I don't know if he's is going to flourish past his. I think this is his ceiling, and I think that's not a good sign for him personally. Um, but I will say that the Warriors dynasty, bringing it back to where it ended, I just don't understand. Well, not understand. I just don't know if we can say that right now at this point, the Warriors will be back to where they once were. Now, I won't deny it if someone says, "Hey, the Warriors might make it to the championship next year," because they have Steph freaking Curry, the greatest point guard in the game right now, the greatest shooter in the court right now. But they need to act fast on bringing in someone to complement Steph because Steph Curry after that game and during the game and throughout the season, he's looked very frustrated. From him crying when Draymond got ejected. From him just on
He
the
went from playing with Kevin Durant to playing with
yeah, and
like,
that's my
you know what I mean?
thing.
And like
That's my
that's the
thing.
problem. Like if
Someone
you
I saw a
see
tweet. I
everybody
saw a
like
tweet.
watch
Something like,
LeBron. LeBron teams himself up with someone on his level.
I want to get to
Like
the Lakers by the
obviously
way.
we know
I
LeBron's
want
the
to get to the
great.
Lakers
We
by the
know
way.
LeBron might be one of the greatest. I understand, but he puts himself in position where he's playing with Dwayne Wade. He's playing with Kyrie Irving. He's playing with Anthony Davis,
Yeah.
right? It's like he's never putting himself on his like, and I think that's the cool thing that made the Warriors special. But when they had Kevin Durant, they finally had someone that was equal to Steph, and we saw they won 2 championships in 3 seasons,
Yeah.
and yeah, they
I,
just
I just
won
don't
on
know
the
how
outside
you
of those years, but there's
yeah.
not the peaks.
I just don't know how you let that go if you're Bob Myers. And from Kevin
But you
Durant's
don't even do anything,
perspective,
Joseph. You don't do anything that you rebound from it. Your
look
rebound was
yeah,
trading away Iguodala and then
getting
bringing in
D'Lo.
D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah.
Like
Who
that was what they did.
D'Lo is proving to a lot of Laker fans and fans across the NBA that he is a good fourth option on the team.
Joseph, he's going to be the reason the Lakers win the Nuggets series or
Yeah,
lose the Nuggets series.
yeah.
And it's probably like a 70-30, 80-20 split,
Yeah.
like amongst the two.
If D'Lo gets 17, 5 and 5, shoots 40%
Yeah,
from
he
three,
shoots 5 threes a game. He goes 5 threes. Like
We're
yeah,
winning.
they're winning the game.
But back
But
to the
we all
Lakers, though,
know
yeah.
he's liable. You
Sorry.
want to transition to the Lakers now?
No,
Yeah.
I mean we can if you want to. I've been wanting to get there. I've been wanting to get here. I guess this is
Let's
the
do it.
segue to
You want to take your bragging? You want to like take a
because
moment to brag about you guys
not
in your
really,
7th seed? It
not
feels like a
really
championship.
because because Darvin Ham has completely screwed up this entire season,
Hold on, I'm putting my
where
hands in my pocket like Darvin Ham now.
we shouldn't even be in this position right now. I
He does
think
it. He has a
we should be a top 5 seed, personally. I think we should have won our division. I think we could have competed with the Clippers. The Clippers only won 3 more games than us. You can't tell me that we are not a better team than the Clippers are. You just can't. You can't tell me that we're not a better team than the T Wolves. You
deeper.
can't tell me that. You can't tell me that we're not a better team than the Suns. The only team that I think is better than us at this time are the Nuggets and maybe OKC, but I'm taking us over OKC though because we beat them in the series, and in those times when we played them and we were like at full strength to our team, we blew them out. Well, off of we blew them out off of like a 4-game losing streak back to back, and we won by like 20 plus points. So I know this Laker team can win every game that they play. It's just
Even
a
though they got
matter
swept
of
by the Nuggets this year.
it's just a matter of us getting put in the right position by our coaches. Well, one of those games that we lost to the Nuggets, Austin Reeves and D'Angelo Russell came off the bench. This is how bad the season. This is how bad the season has been for Zachary. Durbin Ham put Reeves and D'Lo on the bench, like, and he started Cam Reddish. Cam Reddish was a starter for our team,
Joseph.
Zachary.
Well, I
Cam
mean,
freaking Reddish.
we're gonna look back historically and talk about how LeBron James, he was never coached by like one of the greatest. I guess you could say Spoelstra. Spoelstra was probably the best coach he's ever had. But he wasn't coached like Kobe was coached by Phil,
Yeah.
Jordan, Phil, Magic, or Pat Riley, right? Like these are like historically like all-time great coaches. But LeBron, he's just gonna have like a whole host of random guys who decided to coach for him for a year. And we just gave him a compliment by he always put himself in position to be with another superstar. And then now we gotta kind of take back and say, hey, you kind of messed up there, man. Like you should have found you a good coach. Like why not why not try to pull Popovich out of San Antonio? Do whatever.
Yeah.
Like, do something
Right?
crazy, right? Because I think
Yeah.
that's going to be the one thing. But at the same time, seeing the Redick and LeBron podcast, I think he knows everything. So I don't think he wanted a coach that could tell him what to do. Because you saw Ty Lue yell at him a couple times, and he sure did run up out of Cleveland pretty fast. So I don't know if he necessarily likes that kind of coaching style.
And if you listen to Dwayne Wade,
He likes
talking about
Ham.
because Ham doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah, so LeBron can just tell him to do stuff. He does it.
Like Mike Brown even said it. I don't know if you heard him talk about his time with LeBron, but he's even said like he like most of the time LeBron kind of like steered the way because Mike Brown didn't know really what he was doing because it was his first coach. It was his first head
Yeah, I saw that.
job.
I saw that.
So and then you look at it like Eric Spoelstra. Like Eric Spoelstra was not like that. He was like, no, this is the way we're gonna do it, and they butted heads. Like it took Dwayne Wade having. LeBron will deny this, but LeBron James tried to get Eric Spoelstra fired.
That's what the rumors are.
He just did, and I think you need, as a great player, you need another great coach. To your point,
Yeah, Riley told him to say he ain't going. He ain't going nowhere. And
to your point,
they ended up winning championships.
Yeah, I think LeBron he has it figured out at times. But you can't win without a great coach. You just can't in this league, not in the NBA.
We're gonna see. I think this year we can see because we hate on Anthony Davis because he is always hurt.
But he's been balling
this year. He played 76 games.
If you listen to my podcast, I haven't said one bad thing about Anthony Davis all season,
which is that's pretty wild because we usually hate on him.
Yeah,
because he's like soft, and I did see him like get thrown around a little bit. In the playing game yesterday.
I'm so glad we're not playing. I'm so glad we're not playing the King. By the way, I'm not gonna lie. As a Laker fan who watched every single Laker game this year, I was scared to play Sabonis. Like I'm scared. I'm scared of playing Jokic. That's why I hope we put Rui on him because Davis cannot guard centers. And to his point, I mean, he's not a center. He's a power forward.
Well, it's because he doesn't want to. He thinks of himself as a wing player.
Yeah,
that's my only problem.
Well,
he thinks he's Kevin Durant, Joseph.
I would say post All-Star break, I will say he's been a little bit more. He's not a little bit more. He's been a lot more assertive and a lot more physical. Good. So this I don't know how much you've watched the Lakers post All-Star break, where we've had a good lineup in play. But I will say, if you're turning on to the Lakers series and you haven't watched any Lakers game at all last this season, viewers, it's a new Anthony Davis than before. He's a lot more assertive. He's a lot more physical in the paint. He's dunking the ball.
I saw him
He's
dunk.
getting rebounds. He's getting
I was like,
offensive
wow,
boards.
I didn't
We
know he could
need
do
that from
that.
Anthony Davis. We need him to get the dirty stuff because he can already show up and get
Does
25 and 12.
does he realize
Like
his
he can do that,
like
just his natural fit.
he can move up a lot of rankings like
If
all
he gets,
time.
yeah,
If
if he
he
gets,
beats Jokic, I don't think he's going to do it personally. I know people like I don't think they're going. I think
I,
Nuggets are going to probably win in 4 or 5 games.
I
But
have faith in
if
this
he
team.
can, of course you do, man. You're a diehard.
Go ahead though, but because I got, go ahead, finish your thought because I want to say something.
No, that's all. I just wanted to say Anthony Davis
So
can move up some all time rankings if he beats Jokic. People can be like, "Wow, Anthony Davis did that," and if he leads them to a championship, because I don't think it'll be LeBron leading him. I do think it's going to be Anthony Davis. I think LeBron's going to play a
yeah,
huge part. Don't
I
get
was
me
gonna
wrong,
say that.
but
Here,
I think the
yeah,
championship has to run through him.
my keys to the Lakers winning this series is going to be a couple things, and my thing is this: there's three things. D'Lo shoots 40% and above from three, the whole entire series, every game, not having one of the 1 for 8 or 1 for 11, and hiding away
He's
type of
gonna get
games.
he'll get you two.
Austin Reeves being able to get us between 12 to 16 points a game. And then last but not least, AD getting at least 2 35 plus point games. We are going to need Anthony Davis to do what he did to the Atlanta Hawks, do what he did to the Charlotte Hornets, do what he did to the Denver Nuggets. He had a 35 plus game against Denver Nuggets this season. If I remember recalls me, I don't know if you're on Anthony Davis stats, but I'm pretty sure against the Nuggets he had a 30 plus game this season. I want to say 35 plus point game. Let me make sure I'm right. Yeah, 32-9. He had 32-9 against the Lakers. That was a game that we were up and then we lost the lead in the fourth. So I think with that being said, I will say that the Lakers are. I think we are in a better position this year than last year to win against the Nuggets.
See, this is my problem. Like he needs to play so much bigger. Hopefully he does. I'm rooting for him. I'm not optimistic, but I'm rooting for him.
All right, guys. Well, I think that's it for today. Let's go ahead and thank you for tuning in. You got any last words? Sorry.
Well, you want to give out your play-in picks real quick for
I mean,
tonight's game?
it's honestly, it's the Eastern Conference. I don't really care, honestly. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, respectfully. Like we got the Sixers against the Heat, which I'm probably not gonna watch.
Sixers win.
And then we got the Bulls against the Hawks, right?
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, that's like
see,
two teams that even went that they even finished with 500.
Yeah, just
Like,
they're both so the 76ers and the Heat are both getting in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's
they're
why
both going
I
take
think
it
we
easy
gotta,
on each other.
Yeah, I'm not sorry, listeners. If you guys want to hear about this, yeah, let me know in the comments. But and if you're a Hawks fan, a Bulls fan, a Sixers fan, Sixers and the Knicks, I mean Sixers and the Heat, you guys are separate. You guys are that's gonna be a good game, but I'm not gonna watch it. But I will. Maybe I'll watch it a little bit, but I'm gonna be on the road driving, so I may just kind of like tune in, just to see who won. But I'm taking the Sixers because it's in Philadelphia, so I'm taking the Sixers over the Heat. And then I'm taking the Heat over the whoever they play to beat, and then I'm taking the depending on who the Celtics, Celtics and the Heat. I think Celtics are gonna sweep them. I just do. I don't think that this Celtics team is the same as last year, but we can get to that when that happens next week episode. For this time, I think we're good to go.
All right, man. Later, guys.
All right, see you guys.